77. I want you to send me some spam musabi.
I am surprised anybody's close to the radio room tonight.
I know, considering my temperature says 105 in my radio room.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
RADIO. It's a hot time in the old town tonight. I just heard a couple of people saying it's still 100 degrees, 104.99, and that's in Central California, all over the place. It's got to be summer. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, coming up. And here we are again, Saturday night, 27085. That is channel 11 on someone's dial, and maybe streaming on your Universal Media Net web at oldtuberadio.net. But wherever you are, live or watching the replay, thanks for joining us. The Old Tube Radio Network, a voluntary association of people just getting together to distribute information and have some fun on the Class D 11-meter citizen band radio service. And then at some point, we will dive into what it actually sounded like, not only with the radios, but with the people behind the radios back in the day when everything was brand new. So with that said, my name is Dennis, one of the many net controllers sitting in the air chair of the Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California. And let's see, we are looking for early check-ins over.
24 checking in.
24, I got you, Joseph.
72 checking in.
And 72, I hear you from the mobile, over.
Got there from airport service.
All right, yeah, you're bouncing off all those wrought iron fence posts. It sounds good.
Breaker.
The breaker, go ahead, over.
Checking in.
195 up in Corscold. I don't think you guys can get away from the heat either up there. All right, thanks for checking in. We've also got some digital check-ins that we will get as well. Let me go ahead and grab 00, who may or may not be at his microphone.
Yeah, 00 is here. Please check me in as that, as number 20. And also, if you would be so kind as to check in 2954, and since it's so hot out, number 135 also.
I can do all that. You are sounding good tonight. Hope all is well and you are staying cool, and you will maybe put a fan up there so you can turn a radio or two on.
I will endeavor to do that. It's not that hot in this room. That's pretty nice. Okay, take care. We will catch you a little later on.
That's because you are in the correct room. We've got 00 checked in.
I just got a text. Check in 81.
And I'll get 81 as well. We are in the 7th week, the 8-week roster, so you got one more week to go, Harvey. Also, I want to get to 57 checked in since he is there. And we need an X. We definitely need an X in for Central Kentucky for Brown Delgado. So we got you in there looking good. And we'll get some of the other early check-ins as well, and we'll see who is out and about. Let's get Robert and Teresa, SWL 31, out in Hendersonville, Tennessee, since you are on the line right now. Also, we'll get a check-in. That's a check-in, not a chicken. Or it could be for SWL number 1. Looking for Mr. OBP number 2. Anybody see Kevin hanging around the digital world? And it's good to have you back, 57. SWL, we'll give a proxy in for 2. Likewise, 3 from the Clovis Amateur Radio Pioneers. SWL5, Mr. Levon is out there with an X in the square. We will go to, we've got the video replay of Old Radio Night. JT got in early and got out early. He's visiting with family, but the Buddy base was up and running, so I want to make sure we get some video of that.
Go OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead, over.
And it's 53 checking in early there, break.
Okay, 5-3, the legend. We hear you. Over.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
All right, I've got my receive delay back for a while, I guess, but we will manage to put up with that. If you hear a little clipping, that's just the receive preamp not doing its thing. SWL7, one of the net controllers here for the Old Tube Radio Network, is online. Hello, Mr. Ed. I hope wherever you are, there is an abundance of shade near the radio room. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Real radio is glowing in the dark. We are in Central California and live streaming at oldtuberadio.net. Believe it or not, let's go out to Sangertown. Whether you can hear me or not, that's going to be up for grabs here. SWL 9, Mr. Dirt Dog 982. I'm thinking we're getting clobbered out in Sangertown tonight. Let's go to SWL 10. Was hearing Northwest is coming in, Northwest, Pacific Northwest, so perhaps it will open up again, and we'll hear some of our favorite stations up that way, so stay tuned. SWL 11 and 12, yes indeed, Dapper Dan, Mr. Cornbread and Dapper Dan are sitting at the radio control booth saying, please check us in, and I will do that with an appropriate X in the square. Someone did say Cornbread. Someone said Fresno, too, but that probably got edited out of the video here. YouTube Radio Network. Let's go to SWL 13. And yes, the crossband is up. The Echo link is up. I see Tony is standing by.
SWL 13 checking in.
And there is 13 sounding good. Sounding good, sir. 13 is checked in. KB6GFD.
Thank you very much. YTG, stand by.
All right, good signal from 13 on the crossband tonight. Let's try Sangertown one more time, SWL 14. I bet they'll be back in the air chair at some point, so we'll stand by for that. Is it early enough? Maybe it's too early for Hans, SWL 15. I'm looking at the chart here. Hello to Ware Shoals, South Carolina. I don't know how you do it, but you've got the executive chair right here in the front. Hello to Fresno, Louisville, Kentucky, Woodward, Oklahoma, Anoka, Minnesota, Toronto, Ontario, Louisville, Kentucky, Angola, New York, Lakewood, New Jersey. There's a lot of Lakewoods. I bet every state has a Lakewood somewhere. St. Louis, Mo. I was in your town. Oh gosh, I don't know when. Last year, anyway. I had a good time. In KMO for sure, and up in the balcony, it's Wiley, Texas. That could be Rob under an assumed QTH there. Squamish boys are in. Hello, Albert. Hey, listen in. The band had opened up earlier, so we might have some skip. I'll go to the DX map coming up in a little bit. Looking for SWL 15, actually. Yeah, the skip has been interesting, Richie. We can hear Hawaii, and then we don't hear who they're talking to. And then we're hearing the people talking to Hawaii, and then we don't hear Hawaii, and then we hear a little bit of both. So it's been like that for the last couple hours. Interesting. SWL 16, helping us out, as always, here in the Old Tube Radio Network. It was supposed to be a pool day. I went out by the. That's why I'm dressed. That's why I put on the suit. I went out by the pool, and there was like a line. There was like no way to get in. So I thought, I'm just going to come out to the air chair and just do my thing. And maybe later on, because it's still going to be, when we get done, it'll still be probably 85, 90 degrees around here. Next, where are we going? SWL 17. Did I mention that after the roll call, we will be chatting with the tube operators and their tube radios coming up? And we will try to get you a bird's eye view. Not only will we hear them, but we'll try and get you some photographs as well of the radios that they are on. Let's go to SWL 18. I've got Mikey checked in from Facebook. And then SWL 19. Chet is here. Yeah, you've got the air conditioning vent right where you're at. I can see the cue cards flapping, so you are in a good position. Chet knows where the venting is in the radio room here. He always manages to get positioned properly. I can still see it. Don't move. So thank you, Chet, for checking in tonight. So let's see. Did I get Charlie? Yeah, I got the X in the square for Charlie. And thank you for he was pointing. I said, what are you pointing at? It's the water. I'm pointing at the water over on the desk. Thank you for leaving that. Let's go to, this guy already checked in, but he might still be at the radio. SWL 20. He's saying, just check me in. Right? We know that you're there somewhere. SWL 20. I'm going to bring up. Let's go to 21. JT was in earlier. The old Radio Night. He's visiting. If you guys are watching, if you're watching the video at Old Radio Night, hello to the family from the West Coast. Normally, as you might be explained, we do a live coast-to-coast feed, but were we to do that, this is probably what we would have seen and heard tonight on the old tube radio, or in the old Radio Night.
17 all messed up.
There's the buddy
Don't
bass.
go up. You're going to wear it like a diaper. That's why they call them dirty diaper.
Dirty diaper.
Because they told me I was full of it, so that's okay, well, I'm dirty diaper then. That wasn't my original handle, so.
The world's longest ground rod, the buddy bass, and dirty diaper.
People remember it.
Check it out.
They like to call me that, so that's fine. I get my name called out there. Whatever it takes, man. To catch a fish. Hey, put the bait out there. They can remember dirty diaper. They say, "Oh, this is Captain Lou, Captain Bill."
I'm sorry I missed that tonight. He was doing good tonight. The old Radio Night buddy bass looking good. 21 is checked in. We have too much fun on the Citizen Band radio. The FCC did not intend for us to have fun back in, September 11th of 1958, when they said, yeah, let's give them this thing. They won't know what to do with it. Let's go to SWL 22.
131 Coconut Raven. It's been a pleasure.
And then 4 million radios later. A lot of those were tubes. We'll be checking in a few of them. Let's see if Mitch is in SWL 23. Where's Skidoo? He's right there, checking in from Shark Park. Well, it's alliterative, but I don't know where that is. Where the great whites are snacking on the pale whites. So, just come to the pool here at the Old Tube Radio Network. We don't have sharks, but there was something going on. I think we have a wayward pool sweep that was attacking people, but that's a lot better than the sharks. All right, Mr. Skidoo, we got you checked in. Out there in Shark Park. Well, I wonder if he's got 1 foot in the shark pool and trying to make a contact. That's what they do in Hawaii. They drive down to the ocean. They drive to the beach. That's why they get out so well. They got that nice little water ground plane. 24, you heard, checked in moments ago.
That's gone.
And then if we can get around the skip land for SWL 25. Hello, 25, over.
Checked in. I don't know if you can hear me or not. 25 checking in.
25, I hear you, 25. We will also get 74 as well. 25 and 74, over.
Hey, 131, put some lime in the coconut. Put some lime in the coconut and mix it all up. Hey, 131, aloha.
Now here comes, and we're not even in the Great Line. Let me pull up before we continue on here. I'll see if I can pull up the DX map. See what's happening. All right, this is one of them. This is like 10 meters, 10 and 11. And it's showing like nothing, but I'll tell you right there's Hawaii. There's what's happening. That's what we're hearing. They're saying we should be here in Texas and Florida, maybe. And up around Juneau, Alaska. I don't know. That is a weird conditions for all that. Let's go to the other DX map, and this is the MUF, the maximum usable frequency. And you can see the West Coast is kind of shy, but there are 6-meter openings if you go across up into the Great Lakes area. So we'll see what happens. You never know. On the old Tube Radio Network, direct net roll call. Let's see, did we finish up with page 1? Yes, we did. So with that said, let me say hello to Neil. I see a 147. I'll get you checked in before that scrolls away and you have to go. Weather, hot and sticky, low 90s with plenty of moisture. Well, we're in the low 100s with no moisture, so you know about that. Neil used to hang around these parts. Radio's very quiet most of the day. The SFI is up. It's above 120, 125, I think S9 says. If you can get above 120 on the SFI, you're probably going to have some conditions. Sunspot numbers right at 100, and the A and K should be okay. That's why we're hearing stuff going on. Weak and sporadic. I think that says it all. Anyway, Dr. Jazz in the Sandhills, we will get you checked in. Also, before he goes away, 007 Extreme CB, check in, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. The frequency is in use, 007. Checking in. I don't know if he's at the motorhome, where he's at. I'm looking for the freebie advertisements. Like when we do interviews on the radio station and somebody brings a book. Like we plug their book. It's like, buy my book. Here it is. Here's the 007 Extreme CB. It's like, get the patch. There's no payola here at the Old Tube Radio Network. Back to direct and net roll call, which is the thing we do get paid for. Page 2. We're looking for SWL 27. I was going to give Dwayne a $2 bill if he would check in tonight. I bet it's 110 degrees in the radio room. And TSG says using a Web SDR. Oh, the Web SDR in Madeira. Let me tell you about that thing. That is, I appreciate the person doing that, but they have a horizontal antenna, so that's the first. We're 20 dB in the dumps right there because we're cross-polarized, and for some reason it never picks up well. If you listen on the Ditch Bank sideband net on Friday, you will hear Ron on that Madeira SDR. So you'll probably hear a couple stations checking in, but typically it's got very bad receive here in Fresno because of the cross polarization. But I wish we could have some selectable antennas on that. It would be kind of nice. Directed net roll calls, where we are at. We called 27. We are looking for 28. And Gary might have told us what is going on. I hope it didn't scroll past. It was right there. One hot barbecue, yes. We have ribs, chicken, potato salad, ice cream, lemonade. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's all over on the other side. at the pool. You can't even get out there. I couldn't even get through the door. So here I am in the safe and sound radio room. But Gary, thanks for that. And there looks like there's plenty. The crowd it's not a big crowd. It's just everybody's in one spot, so it makes it look big. We've got a proxy check in for Mr. Loner 29.
Pump it up the volume, pump up the volume, pump the volume. Here comes the concrete man right there, ready, aloha.
All right, the Concrete Man. That's a new one. I don't remember the Concrete Man out there. SWL 30. I don't know if Dwayne and Chrissy are in yet. They should be by. I think we're going to be hearing them tonight. You saw the little ball up there in Vancouver. Might go down their way. And Sean saying hi from Ham Radio Crash Course. That intrigues me. I don't know what that is. If it's a online thing or YouTube, or maybe you are studying. Those of us who are hams, raise your hand. Probably had a crash course of some type, whether it was something we did on QRZ with Gordo, like me, way back in the day when, you bought the book, the ARRL book. We all had our crash course to get on the air. SWL 31, Robert and Teresa are in. Good to see you guys in there. And the station that needs no introduction, but I have to because otherwise nobody would know who he is, SWL 32. Rob, I saw that. You're hearing... You're like at the second hop. We can't hear where you guys are at. You can't hear where we're at, but you hear Hawaii and all of that. So stay tuned. Stranger things have been known to happen.
Hey, Dog 144, man.
So Rob has checked in 32. Did I have it? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, if you look above my head on the little quad box, that is your check-in window. And if like this, we'll go to 33, and it says checking in. It's like, are they there? Can they do it? And then at some point they say, yeah, we're here, Bosa Control, honks the proboscis, and then it automatically switches to a check-in. And apparently, according to Frodex, that gets recorded on some server. All this time we've been doing it for years and years on the video. It's logged in somewhere. So we could go back to, I think I checked in on August 17th in 2012. And I guess we could go and look and say, yeah, you did. Jimmy Fiedler, SWL 34, out near Chicago. I'm not sure what the weather is like there, but he is doing all things Facebook when it comes to two-way radio and the locomotives. So thanks, Jimmy. Hope you're having a good time with the family. SWL 35, I saw a Mr. Bill, and normally he says, cool, Charlie Double Oscar Lima, Cheyenne, but this time he had a little meme of a fire. So that leads me to believe that it is no longer cool Cheyenne, Wyoming for a day or two. Hey, Richard, I see you.
918, I'm just cruising a baby driver, man.
Lister Motorsports in 2-land, the Kilowatt Papa Whiskey, hello to you. Also in 9-land, Alpha Zulu, no, it's America, Zanzibar. That's what we say. And we're shouting our DX world. SWL 36.
I'll beat up some coconuts, man.
That's kidding. Boy, I'm probably getting walked on tonight by Hawaii, but the digital guys can hear me. Thank you, Ken. 36 is in. Boy, it is getting really warm in here. I hope. Did the air conditioning die? Because if not, if it did, we're going to put an extension microphone on the shotgun, and we are going out to the pool. Well, I'm not sitting in here. Let's go. 36 you are in. SWL 37. I don't care if they throw me in again. I don't know if Chris can even. I'll get Chris proxied, and he'll be back. He's probably in a nice air-conditioned theater room there.
Hey, 131, tell them don't look up now because the coconuts are dropping.
Peter, are you guys hearing Hawaii? I mean, it's really loud here. You can hear it and see on the meter. So 428's in the mobile up on the hill and Squamish listening, but I have a feeling they're probably hearing what we're hearing and not hearing them yet. But it'll change. We get our gray line that should come up really nice. Let's go to SWL 38. Sam and Byron. There's so much cacophony, Sam. I don't even think you can get a 10-5. We usually have to have the nice people in Australia do that for you. Popcorn 913. Thank you for the extra popcorn out by the pool. The Popcorn 913 brought in the little rolly stand, you know, with the red and the white stripes and the little window and the popper thing sitting out by the pool. That was very thoughtful. And the special brand of popcorn. I don't know what it was because I didn't get any. SWL 39.
You missed me by 2.
You know what? If you were to like run really fast backwards, you would hear me calling your name. So try it. Here we go. Okay, don't hit anything. SWL 37.
I just missed you. That hell run backwards.
Oh yeah. Just don't run into the refrigerator over there. And I know it's rough. We got a lot of mini grass going on. 37. I've got you checked in. Over.
Getting here time I was in there watching TV and doing dumb stuff. So you know. Anyway, thank you, Dennis. You have a wonderful evening.
I'm having a great evening for a guy that's dressed in a scratchy JCPenney's jacket in a room that's probably 90 degrees here in Fresno. I'm having a great time. Over. That's crazy. Look at the S meter up there.
You won full on in the grass. We try and break.
Yeah, 20 over. Is that the brown jacket?
Yeah, well, no, this is the, we call it the seersucker suit. I think it's probably just, you know, something that was on the rack at JCPenney's. Anyway, before I get stepped on, go back to what you was doing because you are checked in, sir. Over.
Have a great evening. Talk to you later.
Like it's Big Island got all the Mother Nature right about now. Cruising Maui County back out.
Boxman, you're going to have to put the hammer down on the mini grass for me tonight. I can't do it from here. You're going to go on the second hop from where you are and let them know that we can hear them on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. 38 I called. 39 I called. Let's go to SWL 40.
Mobile smoking, man.
And not only is there a lot of skip tonight, but it's loud. We're up above S9. And so when it does that, we're at the peak. So it's probably going to crash. Give it 5 minutes, and it should be gone. We're on the cliff, as we say. Let's go to SWL 41. Looking to see who's out there. SWL 42.
Yeah, SWL 42 and the Radio Lifer crew are all present and accounted for.
And sounding good. Sounding good. I heard you chatting with the big stations a little bit earlier, and it was all sounding good. Now they're hearing you again. Anyway, you're checked in.
All righty.
And Neil, it says, sounds like Southern California Channel 14 on a Saturday night back in the early 2000s. Neil, in the mid-1980s, that is exactly why we came down to Channel 11, because Channel 14 in Central California sounded just like that. And we thought, you know, we need a way to kind of get away from the H&D, but get on our radio. So we found out everybody's got Channel 11. That's what we did. We were a group of us. A lot of us were up on 14, and then kind of migrated down to 11 on a Saturday evening when it sounded just like this, and did the old tube radio thing. And that was over 40 years ago, and we're still doing it. Okay, we are continuing. Let's go to SWL 43.
Catch you later too then. I'm a 7 waving. Bye-bye.
That's crazy. SWL 44, Ray, if you're listening somewhere at 360, we will get you checked in. Over.
Okay, one more time, man. We got a concrete truck. We're going to put it.
SWL 45, Is my audio? Yeah, I guess it's okay. I might be a little low, but I'm looking at this meter right here, just so you can see that. The REA meter up in the corner, that is the output of the transmitter on the AM, your positive and negative peak. So as long as it's doing that, we're probably okay. The other meter is the Orban level, and I'm a little weak compared. This is like comparative audio levels for everything that's coming into the stream tonight. So I try to keep them all within a certain level, and if somebody's loud, they'll have a lesser number up there because that's how close you get to like 0 dB. I don't know the math on all this, but that's all the stuff that's going on. If you're wondering what all those other charts are above the S meter. Somebody says the S meter's at 0. It's looking at SWR, so let's go to power out, I think. Or where am I looking at? I don't know. It's not doing anything. There we go. Turn the right knob. Give people something to look at besides me.
I'm down.
Okay, 47 and SWL 45. We got Paul and Kelly. SWL 46. SWL 47.
Holy moly, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Greetings from the Radio Lounge 47. Aloha. 83 said aloha from the mini-grass. 83 on. 47.
Yeah, 47, I hear you're actually loud. You are on the loud radio. You picked the right radio for Skipland, and I hear you. And, yeah, it's just crazy. I'm just waiting for that skip to die down.
Me too. I think I'm disturbed because I kind of I like this. You know, it's fun when this other stuff comes through. But I will admit it's a little on the annoying side.
You know, it's like going to one of those water parks and going down the water slide with everybody. It's just you just kind of once you open the chute, you go. It's whatever happens.
You'll hear more from me later. But for right now, 47 from the Radio Lounge.
Radio Lounge is sounding good. Thanks for joining us on the old Tube Radio Network. SWL 48. I will get a check-in for Sammy out in Madeira, Mr. KP. SWL 49. And we've got a proxy check-in for Smitty and Sweet Country Mama. Let's go to SWL 50. In Battle Creek, Michigan. Don't you know, SWL 50. We could keep an ear and an eye out for you. I know you're in there somewhere. Right there. It takes a while. It takes a while for the Universal Media NetWeb to catch up. UDX 36, but SWL 50 if you're on the old Tube Radio Network from Battle Creek. In the air share from the bad word tonight. Anyway, you jump in. Now you could run to the refrigerator and grab your favorite beverage, but you always come right to the radio and get checked in. So that's a good thing. Now you can go and get the Nesbitt's lime soda that's waiting for you in the refrigerator. Let's go out to Sangertown, SWL 51. SWL 51.
Station.
The station. This is OTR. Go ahead. Over.
Time, Dennis. 188 with Mobile with an early check-in, please.
Hey, 188. They are trying to trip us up here tonight. The mini grass. They all drove down to the water and turned on the amps, but you're coming through with no problem. Over.
Appreciate that. Make sure you wave a hand around the Hawaiian Islands for me.
All right, will do. I'm sure they're hearing you with no problem. 188 in the mobile unit. It's sounding good, and you are checked in. Over. The Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California, streaming at oldtuberadio.net and live on channel 11, 27085. Some places are having thunderstorms, Georgia to Virginia this afternoon, so it's kind of crazy. We have thunderstorms, it's not 90 degrees, and it's when you would think you would have thunderstorms. Let me get back to the page. Where was I? Let's call SWL 5151. SWL 5252. SWL 53 checked in. Mr. Belair, over to page 4, SWL 54. Brought out proxy for 54. Up the hill, it's SWL 55.
I'm making it through, Dennis. 55, checking in.
55 sounding good. 55 sounding good with the X in the square 55. Thank you. Over. Down the street and around the corner, a little bit farther. Take your lunch if you have to walk over there. SWL 56.
Well, good evening, Dennis. 56, just for kicks.
Yeah, we're getting some kicks tonight from the skip line, but you're sounding good, no problem. Never, if they're covering you up, we have a problem. So sounding good, 56, we got you checked in. Directed net roll call. Who just knocked on the door here? It's the Titan Killer 666 Radio Canada 128 in Winnipeg, Manitoba. A lot of great SDRs up there in Alberta, Manitoba. There's one. I can't think of the name that is, but they got a good SWR up there. And I got my shortwave receiver, and I kind of miss tuning in, the shortwave stuff when they're top of the hour. Oh, Canada, hey, they're about ready to start. Let's go to, that's what we need. We need a song. Well, I guess we do. We have our little song at the beginning. We need like our own song for OTR. I have to work on that. 56 is in. Let's go to SWL 57. Oh, Central, I got an X. He must have had an early check-in for 57. Brown Dog Audio. I've got an X there already. That must mean something. SWL 58. Somebody said a proxy for Jeremy. I will do that. Uncle Hairball, hanging out somewhere. Old Radio Night, the Old Tube Radio Network. A Citizen Band Radio near you, SWL 59. And Maniac is waving from Seattle. He's got the Chris 23 Plus glowing. Nice radio. Ready to check in if Mother Nature cooperates. It might be up there. Got my first taste of Seattle a couple of years ago on a cruise. Finally went up to the, I know, it's like this tourist guy. Finally went up to the Space Needle. I mean, I'd been seeing it on a postcard from my grandparents from 1964, the World's Fair. And it's like, hey, I'm finally up in the top and looking down. We did a lot of walking around Seattle. It was, seems like everything's still, wherever you go, there's something under construction. It's a big crane sitting on a giant building. It's like, what? Now what? Now what are they? Are they taking it down? Are they putting it up? I don't know. So, we are looking for, here's a guy, SWL 60.
Thank you, Dennis. Evening time to all the fellas out there, the crew, I should say. Ladies and gentlemen, there for sure. SWL 60 checking in if you can hear me.
I can hear you fine. You're making over the skip land. No problem. Over.
Okay, Dennis. Thanks.
Who else is joining us? Caller Radio is listening in. Hello to you. Good to have you joining us as usual. Let me put the X for 60. How about 61? 61! Oh my gosh, he's waiting. I was going to check you in anyway. You sounded so good last night, but 61, I hear you. 61 is checked in. Over.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, we got you. No problem.
Yeah, he sounded good. I mean, I thought maybe he'd be on the inside radio from last night, but sounds good. Through all the skip, too. That's good stuff. And Michael B. saying hello, Dennis, and all the SWLs and people out there. Thanks for joining us tonight. SWL 62. Private Thor still waiting for some conditions. 62. Squirrel Chronicle. Coming out of I don't know. I don't have a QTH for you, but I thought you were up in New Jersey somewhere. I could be very, very wrong about that. But if you're there, jump in somewhere and say hello, radio. And the comments are still kind of going wacky on the main page, but if you're at the video, they should be working okay. Then we go to SquirrelCon SWL 64. Craig checked in early. SWL 65. Warren Scott with a breaker. Not a 10-4 or a good buddy, just a breaker. SWL 66. And Bill, I see you. I saw you in there. SWL 67 up at Canby, Oregon. You might hear us tonight. If it ever calms down from the mini-graphs, you never know. But Bill 67, I got you in there. SWL 68. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kenny checked in a little bit early, said say hello to the gang out here on the West Coast, and we will do that. Yeah, I like the 800% modulation. I think, John, Motormouth Mall can get a good 140, 150% and still sound good. At 800%, you get a little bit wide. Makes it a little bit tough to copy out there. So hopefully they'll behave in Chicago. Hendersonville number 2. Thank you, Warren. We got you checked in as well. Headphone Harvey. Audio's low on the YouTube stream. Yeah, it is. Let me go up, and this is why. And I think I have a fix with that because that's comparatively. So what we're going to do, and I changed some stuff here. I'm going to hello radio testing. Oh, maybe that's too much. Test radio 6.7. What do you think? No, that's too much. See that? Then the meters don't lie. What I'm doing does not affect what's going over the channel 11. This is only these streams. So we'll try that and make sure that people aren't having to turn it up and turn it down. I hate when that happens. And Headphone Harvey, he's got headphones like I do, so he knows. He's a little more sensitive into. I can see what he's doing. Here. Let me do my. Here's Headphone Harvey. Everybody's talking. It's like and then the net control guy comes in and he's like, he can't hear what's going on. But hopefully I have fixed that. SWL 69, Kenny is in. Let's go up the hill to SWL 70. SWL 70. I mean, I've got a meter right here. Just look at the meter and the numbers. It'll tell you true. I shouldn't have to rely on the SWLs to say, fix your radio. Come on. Let's go to SWL 71. But I'm glad they do. I'm glad they say something. 59, I see Uncle Hairball. That's what happens when ORN starts early and ends early. You don't know where to go in that interim. 59, I see in there. 71, we're looking for. Radio Boy checked in early. That's 72. How about SWL 73?
Gorilla tape don't work and the battery's off.
And celebrating the 75th year of Seattle's Seafair Festival on Lake Washington, hydroplane boat races, and Blue Angels. Ooh, nice. When I was there, we were up looking at something, and the guy said, you could see a couple of mountaintops. They said, typically, you don't have this kind of visibility, so remember that. So that was kind of fun. Let's SWL 74 is checked in with the proxy. SWL 75 is out there. 356 BYU, SWL 75. We got you checked in. Thanks for jumping in. Let me get it official. Let me get to the right. We got the wrong. There it is. The wrong thing on the video. So Elvis was in the building back in 1972. That was sort of like the mid Elvis, not the big Elvis, not the little Elvis. That was kind of in between Elvis and Elvis in 1972. 38, I see him. Let me get to 38 checked in out in Byron. Thank you, Sam. We are looking for SWL 76.
83 Honolulu. 83 Honolulu.
And Honolulu's still sounding good tonight.
Concrete Man, time for a Budweiser break.
Okay, well, I know this guy's around. SWL 77, hello radio.
Good evening, Dennis. Good to hear everybody getting over to Skip, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend and trying to stay cool. 77, good old train wreck 1017, checking in.
Looking good on the meter, sounding good in the headphoniums, and we've got you checked in. Over.
Roger, roger.
83 Honolulu, 83 Honolulu,
You know, what I'm hearing tonight from Hawaii are some new voices. Usually it's like the same two people, and tonight a lot of new stations and sounds coming in. So I'm not sure if we have a different side of the island or a different island coming in, but that's kind of nice. SWL 78, Richard is listening from Wild Wildemar. I hear you guys are having a big time heat wave down there as well, or maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure you guys are sweltering like we are up here in the Central Valley. SWL 79. I know I heard Mr. DC in there earlier. Put an X in the square. Making sure I get all the X's where they're supposed to be. Let's go to shortwave listener 80. Foxman, they don't hear, they're not hearing me, but when 1017, when Trainwreck keys up, it's like they have to take a pause and say, where's that coming from?
We still rock with the Harley Tolls out there.
Now, we got a couple of, Richie, we got a couple of stations here in the Central Valley that are, what was the old song about gonna shut them down? Yeah, we got some big stations that can do it, and they do it the right way. The audio is good, the bandwidth is perfect. And so, yeah, we make the Central California look good here. Let's go to page 4, SWL 81. And Mr. DX Scott out in Paradise. If you're listening, we've got you checked in. You know, Scott, if we get some ducting down the valley, we'd probably be able to hear each other up that way. Sometimes Redding, Red Bluff, up in that way is a nice little duct just before it starts hitting the hills. It runs into Castle Craigs, and we're out of there. SWL 82. SWL 82.
Checking in over all that, Skip. I thought all the big stations would be on Channel 6, but I guess not. Anyway, 82 checking in from the ditch banks of Biola. Good evening.
Well, you sounded good. It was good to hear you on last night. And like Foxman says, I think Channel 11 is sort of the Super Bowl for Hawaii. That is the voice of the Ditch Banks sideband. And we had a couple people listening in last night from around, seeing if they could get into the net. And you did talk to somebody, I don't know if it was in Georgia. We had Texas listening in as well. So that happens on Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific time on 36 lower. So tune in no matter where you are. Ron has like the best receiver out where he's out in the ditch banks. And there's a spot for visitors and everybody to get checked in. And if you're local, do the same thing. Stop on by. Anyway, Ron, good to have you back.
Concrete Man, take a Budweiser break.
All right. Crazy. It's crazy out there, I tell you. SWL 83. JZ out there in Ohio, looking good. Saw you in earlier. I know it's a little bit noisy, but we've got the X in the square, so do not worry. And then let's get checked in. The Cheerios Kid, Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. 84, 85, 86, and 87. 84, 86, 87, and 88, respectively. I know. I'll get those numbers down. J.G. Mopar waving from Southern California. Where? I can't remember where you are in SoCal. We've got a couple of Southern California transplants up here. Well, I'm one of them. Let's go. We jump over to SWL 91. Felix was in earlier. It is late out there in the Bronx. So, Felix, thanks for checking in. Ventura, all right. They've got a song about your highway. Ventura's a good hop for 40 meters. Just about all day, anytime here from Central Valley. With minimal power and a very short antenna, we can make it to Ventura, no problem. Let's go to SWL 92.
Hey, let's buggy fit, keep it light. Old buggy in the valley gone. Bye.
SWL 93. I'll get STD checked in. That's Leo out in Clovis. Then we jump into it is getting really hot in here. I mean, we have to go and check. Did they take our plug for the air conditioning and run over to the popcorn machine over by the pool? Maybe that's what they did. Well, we're running enough tubes. I'm just kind of worried that something might blow up in here if it gets too hot. Let's go to SWL 95. SWL 96.
Concrete, the bucket, women in the valley gone. Bye.
And Blood Nose 67. Yeah, check out the video. It's already up for Old Radio Night. The shout-out wheel is there, the buddy bass, all the good stuff at your favorite radio place to be, Old Radio Night. SWL 97. And there is 97 Boston. Thank you for checking in. What's going on in Boston? Is it like normal weather? I don't know what normal weather is for this time of year, but it's probably nice, whatever it is. SWL 98. Let me get the number there, and I think I have queued the latest video, as we used to say. Let me find it here. Yeah, there it is. All right, so switching that over, and we'll do a live check-in. We'll, if you're watching the video thing that we do, you'll get to see the created, one-of-a-kind OTR check-in. Here we go, the Old Tube Radio Network. I know that guy.
Dusty dials in the twilight hum.
He's better looking on TV.
Thank you, Dennis, for doing the net. This is SWL 98. I'm wishing everybody a good evening. 7-3.
Well, I don't have to tell you. You can just hear it from the start. And I think it's definitely surf music at its best.
Okay, we got surf music. We got everything going on there. So thanks for that. Always enjoy the one-of-a-kind videos. If you think those are crazy, wait till you see the ones that get put in for for the Ditch Bank sideband net. Crazy.
28 in Honolulu. I got 28.
We got, there are so many numbers floating around Channel 11 tonight. I think everybody's going to get checked in whether they are there or not. Okay, 98 is in. I got the X there. Boston. Jim is in. And where are we going? 99, Radio Randy. I haven't heard Randy in a while. I don't think he's going to be making the trip with this skip tonight, but if things open up a little bit later, he might be able to do that.
Get off the track, get off the road.
Don't you love that what was it, phase distortion, when you the carrier, you stop hearing the carrier and you start hearing the sidebands, one of the sidebands, and then that fades away and then the carrier comes back. So it's just crazy stuff here on AM. That's why we love AM. Let me get my chart updated, and we are going to go to the Echo Link, so stand by. firing up the Echolink link. I think it's working. Tony, our Tubes on the Air purveyor, listening in from beautiful McClellanville, South Carolina. KD4BAO, KB6GFD.
Hold on out there. But I tell you what, man, I see my garage city's coming.
Listening for Tony. Here he is.
Hey, good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWIL 100. It's always good to hear you. And back to net control, KD4BAO.
All right, Net Control is here. Thanks for checking in. I know you have all the juice, the filaments and the grids and the plates and the getters all ready to go for our Tubes on the Air coming up in just a few moments. Thanks for that. KB6GF. And with more Echolink action and flair, let's see what's happening up in Sparks, Reno, and give Albert a call. KI6CBA, KB6GFDLO, Albert.
Pause for the call. Catch me at 131. I'm on the mill. But
now, I thought they were fading out. There he is.
Wait. I got it turned down the volume on the other one there.
Yeah.
It's so good to be with you, Dennis. I'm looking forward to the radio. Hotter than heck up here in the Reno Sparks area. Come on up next week. We're going to have the hot August night. They're going to shift the cars from casino to casino. We're really looking good. Over. Your turn.
Well, that's good. I love the car shows. That is what we do, except we do it with radios, and we do it every Saturday, and it's definitely a hot Saturday night. We'll be talking to the hot radios as well. And for those of you who like more fins and more chrome and more knobs, hot August nights is a good thing, too, with the car show. Thank you, Albert, for checking in. Always fun to hear what's going on up there, and we will catch you next time on the Old Tube Radio Network, KB6GFD.
And KI6CBA to KB6GFD, checking out, and we'll listen to the radios as they come in tonight. Good night.
See what it says. Top post like a 55 or...
It's still beaconing strong on the skip. I'll have to bring up the map and see what's going on. Here's a guy, SWL 102, who should be there. Somebody said they were checking. I think it was 128 that was checking in early tonight. Yeah, you're there. And you said that on 7200. We after the program last night, I was limping along. I didn't have my amplifier, so I was running, I don't know, probably 70 or 80 watts. We were listening, talking to SWL 32 Rob out in Texas. 78 Richard joined us, who had a big signal into Texas, and then some of the SWLs like John listening in on 7200. So he said it was finally nice to hear me over the air rather than this guy in this little box. So I'm surprised you heard me. Again, my antenna's low, power was low, but it just worked out. We had a nice sort of short, long hop on 40 meters, so that's good. So hopefully we will be able to do more of that. Thanks, John, for checking in. It was good to hear Rob direct out of Texas, and then Richard 78 always doing a good job. Thanks. Boxman starting to hear Australia. I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to go to the map. Let me jump over. Let me find it. See, this is what's odd to me. Where is it? Right there. It's showing basically nothing. The thing is, this is 28 megahertz, so it's very possible we have the maximum usable frequency stopping right at 27,500. Of course, there's, Hawaii is beaconing in. So it hasn't changed too much. It's pretty spotty. Just take note that we're starting to come down the West Coast into Seattle. Peter and the guys are out in the mobile, so I have a feeling if we can get the noise from Minigrass out, we'll be able to hear some skip coming up that way as well. And I'm looking for the other map, and it is not there. All right, we'll continue on with the roll call here. Okay, there it is. I want to just put the other map up. Get rid of that, and that's still what's going on. It's pretty light, and that's why we're not hearing much from the east. But the band is open. Take a look at that. It's a lot of 6-meter contacts. If you're 6 meter, put your antenna up. You can probably hear that. All right, we got another Echolink link we will catch in a moment. So if you're listening, don't go away. Direct and net roll call. Back to the paper. Let's go to SWL 103.
One more time. On the hearing. One more time. One more time.
SWL 103. Joey's right there checking in from Ware Shoals. Oh, that's right. You are the Ware Shoals. It's on my screen. Was on my screen. Hello to York, Pennsylvania. Who else is joining us that wasn't in there? Pretty much the same. Yeah, you can go to oldtuberadio.net and jump in there. I don't know, the comments aren't working as well, but you can hear the audio there if you click on that. If that's a good way to go. So, Joey, it's cooling down with some rain coming for the next 3 or 4 days. Wow. We need it too, but we won't be getting it until November probably. So thanks for checking in. Let's go to shortwave listener 109. I'll get Mr. Crawdad checked in. SWL 110. SWL 111. Robert was in earlier, but the skip was so bad he just left. He left a note. He put a post-it on the OTR door and says, "Check me in, please," which we are doing. Let's look for SWL 113. And do we have questions? They say we have some questions tonight, so we will look for that. Bobo, hello. Greetings from southwest Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got a couple of good SDRs that kind of bang in here at evening on 40 meters. Let's go to shortwave listener 114. Wayne, if you can hear me through all the noise, over.
114, checking in if you can hear me.
Oh, no problem. You are sounding good and looking good on the S meters, and as always, with an X in the square on your old tube radio network. Thanks.
I'll tell you what, man. I want my coffee getting in the mail out there, man. I'm waiting for the grossmaster to send it in the mail. Hey, 131, concrete man, waiting for the package. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wayne. Over.
Looking in. Bye-bye.
SWL 128, John wanted an early check-in, and we will get Fairfax, Virginia with an X in the square. And it's UDX 404. You are the York, Pennsylvania. All right, Misfit. Thanks for chiming in there. Let's go over to SWL 131.
83 Honolulu.
SWL 135. I got a proxy check-in for Mr. Green Arrow. Oops, I lost our Echolink link there. Now they're back. All right, let's go to SWL 137. Shortwave listener 145. Tony, I know you can't hear me, but I'm putting the X in the square.
145, man. Hey, Tony.
And we've got your question, so thanks for that. SW 147, Neil got you checked in earlier. 188, Bobby, and the Snow Beast Mobile was sounding good. SWL 195, Course Gold, Jim checked in early when the skip wasn't so bad. SWL 223, checking in and listening. Probably hearing a lot of Hawaiian, not a lot of the Old Tube Radio Network. And who else do we want? Oh, SWL 226.
Bye, 226. Hey, 226. Aloha. Hey, 226. I'll see you. Bye.
226. Yeah, the Old Tube Radio Network here. Old Tube Radio Network at oldtuberadio.net. Channel 11. Listening for the Old Tube Radios. If you stations out in Hawaii, out in the islands, the mini grass have any tube radios in your arsenal, fire them up. Talk to us here on the West Coast. We want to check them in. And SWA, perfect. I was just about ready to put up the little thing that says late check-ins, and then I would have a late check-in because the little thing that says late check-ins. SWL 15 would be there.
What do you want to do?
And we'll put you on the list here.
Yeah, here my friend Concrete Man, Brother Willie, and
Okay, I think we have an Echolink link. Let's do that, and then we'll see if we can get over to.
Concrete Man, Brother Willie.
We'll try our Echolink link. Get that up, and then we'll do possibly some questions tonight. But anyway, let's try. Where are we going to? Metro Tulsa, AE5U.
Number 7, the concrete man saying hello and away go.
Got the Echolink link up. We'll see if we can get Tulsa in for a quick check on here. All right, we think we got it. Hacked up. It's the delay that throws everybody. It's like, listening to your radio on the talk show, and they say, don't listen in. All right, well, we're going to be in a feedback loop, so we'll check in later. Anyway, Tony, we hear you from Tulsa. Thanks for stopping by the Old Tube Radio Network. And we have a delay, so you got to turn down the audio, the television stream, and then listen in to the Echolink. Next thing we're going to do, if we ever do it, will be the Tube Radios. But first, we're heading over to some questions.
I'll see you.
I know they are here. Yeah, here we go. Courtesy of SWL 145. Question number 1, multiple choice, as always. For those that might be able to hear me. What type of early radio receiver, all right, so we're going to early radio RX, early radio receiver could also transmit a low-level RF signal back into the antenna. So we're talking about a type of early radio receiver that could also transmit a low-level RF signal back into the antenna. And our choices are...
Hello, how do you do?
It's crazy. A tuned radio frequency or TRF receiver. B, a super heterodyne receiver. C, a regenerative receiver. Or D, a crystal set receiver. So we're looking for the type of early receiver that could also transmit a low-level RF signal back into the antenna. I think I have a guess on this because I can remember on some of the radios you could actually tap the case and hear it coming through the speakers. I don't know if that's the same thing, but some of the especially some of the CB radios where it was you could pick up everybody would do that. So what are our questions? We're talking about a radio receiver that you could transmit low-level RF signal back into the antenna. Is it a TRF, a B, a super heterodyne, C, a regenerative receiver, or D, a crystal set receiver? Okay, we got a C, we got a regen, we got a D. See, I was going to go with the regen because I think those are the ones where you tune in what you think is a station you're listening to, and you're listening to everybody. It's just you hear the strongest. It's like Skipland. You hear the strongest station coming. But I remember tapping on that case. So the answer, what type of early radio receiver could also transmit a low-level RF signal back into the antenna? And that is a C, regenerative receiver. So many of you maybe have tried that before, experienced hearing yourself coming back through the radio. All right, good stuff. One more. Here's the outright question. You got to know the answer or don't. Man, that's loud. And this is a sort of a hammy type question, but here we go. And it also transmits over to CB because it was the same situation. In the 1960s, U.S. novice operators, and I would say just about every CB operator in the 1960s were required to use crystals. For transmit. Another nickname for crystal control was what? Like it was sort of I don't know if it was a nickname. It was just sort of a thing, you would say. I don't have a VFO because we should have a little square. So it's like, I'd like to buy a vowel, please. But we used to call it, and I know if you've got a tube radio, you are going to rocks. Thank you. Whoever said rocks you are right there, rock bound. So we're all on 11 meters rock bound because the FCC says you've got to have a crystal in there. But the novices were rock-bound because they had, by law, by rules, they had to stay on that. So let's grab the person here. Hello, radio from KB6GFD,
Hello, 131, Hot Shot Station Got Down,
and AKA SWL70. Hello, radio. We got 70 checking in on the big thing.
There
Sounding
seems
good.
to be a slight amount of interference on the HF band over there, so I'm trying to check in 70 over here, please, over.
Yeah, you notice it seems to be that the 11-meter portion of the band is opened up. I'm not sure about 10 meters, and I don't know if you're a 6-meter guy, but you could try. But we hear you fine on the cross band, way, way above all of that. Over.
Beautiful. All right, man, hang in there. It'll probably drop off after a bit. KB6GFT, 73, man.
All right, 73 from KB6GFT. Thanks for the check. All right, SWL70 checking in on the crossband. I'm going to jump out of the air chair. I'm going to make sure the pool is good. There's 70 checking in. And we will be back to our rock-bound extravaganza called the Old Tube Radio Network right here on 27085. Open the case and look for the little number and see if you're anywhere near 27085. And 14. Hey, 14, I see you. I'm right on the list. I'm right on the list. So we'll get 14, and we'll also get SWL9. You can hear it. It's just, I thought maybe I missed you, or maybe I did. It's just Skipland really heavy tonight, so I'm thinking they're going to block out between me and you, but not sure. All right, I'll be back. We'll be talking to the tube radios such that they might be, or if they might be, or maybe we'll be talking Skip to some radios. You never know. Anybody else is jumping in here at the last minute? I make sure before I jump out of the chair. All right, let me give you all something to look at. And boom, there it is. Oh no, we'll do the S meter. Come on. All right, there we go. Back in a minute.
I appreciate it, 131. Them boys making it real rough on my baby driver, no doubt about it. But I'm out here just chillaxing, man. I just got home from the Saudi, heard you making a lot of noise down here. All the boys in the Big Island jumping up and down, so I just figured I'd wave to you. All right, 131, I appreciate it. Out here cruising this derail on this stretch, cutting down. All right.
That's looking good. Now something like this.
If we ain't left on my baby driver, no doubt about it. But I'm out here just got home from the I appreciate it. I just told you, let's do very well. All right, 131. 131. Good day. I'll see ya. 131. Nobody move. Nobody get hurt. Check it, 131. Mad Max. That quiet.
700, standing by.
And you got that plucking hammer down, 131. It waves too long for Mad Max. Listen, if you're able to reach out, I'll wait that quiet.
Concrete man, get it down. Break off, break off.
Yeah, right there. We got back on the west side, man. Oh, boy. Big old man. He short-winded, but I'm going to say long-winded old concrete man said, tell 7, not 6. Southside, Big Island, waving.
Last time around.
Somebody back there say concrete, man. Somebody coming out to buy your country, man. Somebody way out there say concrete, man. I don't know what's going on, but number 12 is a 5 kill on the east side. Concrete, man.
Said you don't need it. 131, almighty hot shot in this station.
All right, I'm back, I think.
Yeah, full 10, man.
5 kill, still get in your radio, man. We just breaker.
Just use my baby driver. Classic.
We haven't had a skip like this in a long time.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, well, that's, do I have audio? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That took longer than I expected. Carla's saying, what took so long? You know, when it's 100, here's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. When it's 100 degrees outside, you really don't realize how much water you drink throughout the day until it is really too late. So that's my excuse. What is the other thing they say? Want to adjust the video? I know we don't have time for such video adjusting shenanigans. But what happened was it was set up for the very large thing outside. So let's do that. That looks completely bad. And what's the problem with this? Why does it look like? It looks like I'm down in a cave somewhere. So I just don't understand. Did we not pay the bill for the camera guys this week? You know, when it comes down to it, really, I don't care. I don't care how I look, so that's okay. Let's care how the radio looks. Oh, do we have check-ins tonight? Over. I don't think anybody can hear me.
I think
56.
All right, you are a good selection tonight, Phil, because if there's any two stations or any one station that I might actually be able to hear, and vice versa. Likewise, tonight on the net, it would probably be you. So go take a transmission, tell me the radio, and we'll see if we can find it over.
Well, okay, it's a Swan 1011. Let's see. Yeah.
All right, sounds like there's a little bell ringing in the back. I think that's maybe some of the skip jumping in. Now, I brought the 1011 Comanche to the old radio night at the Fresno Amateur Radio Club last month. And the reason I did that is because the radio that we are about to hear more from sort of started the whole thing with Swan setting off actually sort of an avalanche of other radios similar to that. And I believe, let's see if we got a picture. Yeah, okay, I've got a picture of the Swan 1011. It's important that we have the Swan because it'll say the name on it. So I'm going to see if I can pop that up on my screen. And there it is. So you're telling me, well, that underneath that tuning knob, it does say Swan, right?
No Alpha, no Bravo, no Charlie, no Delta.
All right, nice. The audio is a little bit low, and I'm not sure if that would be. I'm trying to think if you have a mic gain on that where you could rotate it, or if you're using a microphone. Yeah, it does have a mic gain. So rotate that mic gain just a little back and forth to make sure we don't have a bad spot in the mic gain control. Over.
Okay, well, I bumped it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, that's not helping. Let's see if this helps a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you did something, and it came up and cleared up. So I think it's one of those things. We just have to wake it up a little bit. Over.
Well, I added just a taste bit more drive to it.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the trick. I think there was a contact not working. So right now you went from sounding like you were in Texas on the skip to sounding like you're now in Hawaii from the skip. You're just as loud as they are. Over.
Okay, well, my meter's a little happier now. Let's see if I can check my frequency here. Stand by. 27083.
Yeah, I'll give a check. Yeah, you're 10 over now, and you sound good. You've got a good carrier to audio balance. It's not moving a lot, but it doesn't sound like sideband. So jump in, and we'll do the 0 beat. But you're close enough on my receiver. Over.
Okay, let's see. And take 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry, I had to get back to him. You're at 27086, right on the money. You're at 086.
Well, that's probably close enough then.
Yeah, it is fine. I'm listening wide on the receiver, and not bad. We're talking about being crystal controlled and rock bound. Here's the radio that one of the few radios that you are not rock bound. I still don't know if they ever got this type accepted, but it was Swan 270 or 250. They put a 10-meter transmitter in it, and then let me see if I go up extreme close-up. Yeah, there's a CB on the band switch that you can go to, and I'm assuming that's where you're at, right? You've got the control at CB?
Yes, and that is kind of what caused the big stink with ARRL.
Do you get real McCoy?
Well, yeah, they kind of saw that Swan had sort of sold out. Now, when you're on that, do you recall that you had to do any modifications inside to actually get it to transmit on 11 meters? Over.
Yes, it didn't come out of the box with transmit capabilities on the 11 meters, and I don't know what the mod is for it. I just know it exists. All the Swans and Siltronics that I've ever owned have already been modded. Over.
Right, and then there's some trickery. There's a carrier balance control that we're looking at. Because in a sense, this is a sideband radio, but you could add the carrier to it. In fact, it was very good sideband radio. I think they actually, this is back in the day where the FT101s were coming in, the Siltronic 1011s were coming in, so a straight sideband radio. I always thought these had an edge over the Yaesus on sound quality on sideband. AM was super tricky to get that carrier balance right, but when you did, they could sound pretty good, and you're doing it as well. But a nice receiver, you've got an RF gain. So this is the Big Swan radio that they reconnoitered for 10 meters. It's sold, and this is in 1970, 1969 for $500. So it wasn't a cheap radio. Over.
Well, no, it wasn't, and yeah, over.
Yeah. So let's see. Power-wise, it's got 160 watts AM input, so probably 25 to 30 watts if you have the carrier drive. 260 watts PEP. So this theoretically really wasn't type accepted to transmit on 11 meters. But Swan was thinking, if a lot of people are on, why don't we make a 10-meter radio where you can listen in? Because they knew a lot of people had the Class D radios. Power cord notes, built-in AC power supply, 12-volt DC operation with a 14-amp plug-in converter. Okay, here we go. The original Swan 1011 plane, and later relabeled the Siltronics, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why. The 1011B versions are really a rig to work the upper HF bands, starting at around 27 megahertz, a 10-meter amateur transceiver with an 11-meter CB receive-only capacity as it was built. The Siltronics 1011 plane, that's what Phil has and what we're talking to. The Siltronics, the next one was the 1011B version, and the plane Swan, I'm sorry, let me do that again. Phil has the Swan 1011. That's what's on tonight. But then they had a Siltronics 1011 when they changed the name after about 50 of these sets and people knocking on their door saying, how dare you? The story goes that Hams and the ARRL, I won't say sad hams, but Hams and the ARRL made a huge protest to Swan. And when the first Swan 1011 ad showed up in the homepage advertisement, I think when it was in 73 magazine, the rig was seen by Hams as nothing but a Swan CB transceiver, when in fact it did contain the 10-meter amateur band. So damage control kicked in back at Swan, and the separate Siltronics company was formed to market the renamed rig. The sales advertisements then depicted the 1011 rig renamed as Siltronics in the early 1970s, and we'll find out where that name came from. But take another transmission, Phil, and make sure we're still working.
Well, real good. Just a little bit of a story here. I bought a Siltronics 1011D, the Comanche, at a Desert Amateur Radio swap meet kind of deal down by the river, and the gentleman selling me the radio was all upset because he said that they, I assume ARRL, wouldn't acknowledge his contacts because he was on a Siltronics.
Wow, now that is definitely some sour grapes going on. So damage control kicks in. I don't know how many of these radios they sold, 50, 70, who knows, on the Swan 1011s. But they're making them close by in the same factory down in, I think it's Escondido. And so it's Sam Lewis, who was related to somebody there. So that's the SIL, Sam I. Lewis Tronics. So that's where they got the name Siltronics. But if you are a Swan person, you look at this and you see the Swan, whatever, the 250 or the 270, and it's still basically what it is. But as they went along, they made some modifications, and as you mentioned, the Comanche 1011D was the last of that, of the models, probably had all the mods. And I think there was one, I don't know if that one has it, but some of them even had Vox control.
Well, yes, this one has a socket on the side of the radio for a plug-in module for Vox.
But very nice. Let me go back to the close-up. So no crystal controlled. It was a nice VFO. They were prone to drift. You had a nice S meter. You could calibrate everything. You had an RF gain. AF gains your audio. Your upper sideband, lower sideband, the AM receive, noise blanker. You've got tune and load, sort of the driver control, and carrier balance. So I'll just ask you, how long did it take you to drive that thing into AM when you first got it? And this is not an easy radio to get on AM.
Well, you know, that came with the help of the old tube radio SWLs. Getting feedback, your patience, and I think help with the gyms as well.
Right, but you're doing good. And someone made a comment, who is that, William, about the VFO display being nicer on the later models, and true, because I think they realized when they were Siltronics, they realized who was actually using the radios, and you kind of needed to get on the channel, if you will. And then there was an external speaker that went with this, and there was a VFO, I'm going to say, well, it was a display, not a VFO. The VFO was in the radio, but it was display. It was a digital display that plugged in somewhere on the radio, and I think they made that for maybe the B model or the D. Do you have, this one does not have the digital display, is that correct?
This one does not. It was the Comanche that had the frequency display as an accessory.
Very nice. Sideband AM, or sort of a carrier inserted into this carrier balance into the sideband, but it doesn't sound too bad. And if you told me, I didn't write it down, what microphone are you using?
This is an unamplified D104.
Wow, okay. Because it still has a lot of bass note to it. And they did. When you were on sideband, I always thought that's what made them sound good. They had a very good low note, and even a Shure 444 would sound pretty good. But you got the 444 on AM, and there was just way too much low frequency going on. So the D104, I think, is the perfect microphone, and probably for both AM and sideband, but for AM for sure. The original Swan 1011 plain, extremely rare, extremely controversial, but now remember, we had E.F. Johnson, we had Helicopter, we had Hammerland, we had a lot of the amateur radio manufacturers crossing over into Class D CB radio, but for some reason, when Swan did it like this and just sort of used the radio and then advertised it, I think that was the kicker, they advertised it, had the gall to advertise it in 73 magazine. It wasn't taken very well, but a lot of these sold. There's still a lot of them around, and like I said, as they went through the Siltronics B models and C and the Comanche, they did modifications basically to appease their operators that were 11-meter people. So, Phil, I'm glad you kept this radio, because this is a piece of history over.
Well, indeed, it would be hard for me to part with it because it is truly a rare radio, and it is a contributor to the history of old tube radios.
Indeed, and thank you, 23. I couldn't remember the exact story on that, but Sam I. Lewis, S-I-L, Sam I. Lewis, which the radio was named for, he was one of the partners' sons, and they were still manufacturing those either close to or out of the Swan manufacturing plant down in, I think it was Escondido. So cool radio. You can, if you've got your tech license, this wouldn't be a bad radio to have. Go up on 10 meters, figure out the drift control. but you'd be set up good to go for getting on the air anywhere. Thanks for bringing it by over.
Well, thank you, Dennis. And by the by, this particular Swan does not have much of a drift problem. I've had it on when I first fired it up. Frequency counter, and then later as the afternoon progressed, I checked it again, and that it just really hadn't drifted. The Siltronics C and D used a different PA tube. I'm sure there were other differences, but this one actually seems to be fairly steady over.
Yes, and thank you, because we were going to talk about the PA tubes. I think originally they were using 8950s. That's what the consensus is. They made some amps that used 8950s, and when these radios came out, I believe those tubes might have been $8 or $9, or maybe even less than that. However, were you to want to replace the 8950s that are in there, you'd be hard pressed to, first of all, to find one of them, and probably find a set of them would be of less than $100.
Well, yes, but again, this one, the Swan 1011. Yeah, my smoke alarm is chirping at me. I think it's trying to remind me to set my clocks back or something. But anyway, this one does not have the 8950 PA tube.
Okay, well, that's probably a plus right there. So my guess is it either had, I don't think it had a 6146. It might have had the, what's the equivalent of that? The sweep tube, like a 6JS6 or something?
To be honest with you, I just really don't know. I haven't looked.
All right, well, it's working. You're putting a good 10/9 signal. Like I said, it's adjusted pretty close. Whatever little blip you made at the beginning made all the difference in the world. So I think there might have been just a bad connection, but there's some finesse you can do with the carrier and the drive control, and then back down the resting carrier, and it brings the audio up. But this is a good demo of a radio that you don't see a lot of, especially. Yeah, everybody knows the 1011D Comanche, but this is the original. This is the Swan 1011 plane. So good deal, sounding good, and glad you were able to bring it by, and cutting through the skip, no problem.
Well, thank you, Dennis, and back to OTR.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, trying to get in an SWL check-in through the noise. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. SWL 52 behind the Golden Microphonium and back from vacation.
Well, nice to be back from vacation. I thought maybe you were going to say back from 6 meters. I want to say was the band open. This opening we're having tonight kind of screams that 6 meters might even be open.
6 meters looks pretty dead tonight. I've been watching the maps, but of course I've been focusing on this weekend is the 222 and up distance contest, and so we were working people on 220 and 432 and 1296, and to work people on 900 if there were other people to work. But yeah, not too much activity on 6 meters, and I'm gonna wander off into the neighborhood and go get my walk in for the evening. So we'll catch you later, Dennis. And thanks for the X in the box, or the check in the box, or the happy face, or whatever you're putting into the box these days. We'll catch you later.
We're putting something in there. Yeah, that might only be 90 degrees now. So if you're gonna get out now is a good as time as any. So thanks for remembering the Saturday night place to be, the Old Tube Radio Network. Hope the family had a good time on the vacation, and thanks for checking in. And I wanted to give a shout out to Rosie up in AU, who joins us often on the Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California. The Old Tube Radio Network are the jingle singers. Sometimes we beacon out to the masses with the jingle singers here.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And if you're brave enough to jump into the radio room tonight and fire up the tubes, we are listening.
60.
I was going to say, if you're brave enough to be on Skip and hear us, we're listening too. As we say, you don't have to. This is not a club membership thing, as you know. No secret handshakes or special numbers. Don't have to be on any list to check in. So if you find yourself sitting in front of a tube radio, as Joe SWL60 is doing right now, then you do just what he does and say, break OTR, and then we say, go ahead, sir, tell us what's going on over there. Over.
Okay, Dennis, doggone it. It is a skosh a bit warm in here, but we'll do the best we can. This is a new member to the family here of radios. I just picked it up yesterday or day before yesterday, and well, we need your info. We need your help.
Wow, okay. Maybe it's one of those, the nameplate fell off and we're not even sure what it is. Is it glowing in the dark? Over?
It looks to me like it is glowing. This is a CAM 88, Dennis. This is a new member of the family here of radios. This is one radio I particularly have wanted for a long time. And it come across my way, and Harvey fixed her up for me. And, well, we want to know how she's doing.
Doing great. I was going to, when I heard you come in, it's nice loud audio. Sounds good. Sounds like you might be using the stock microphone with it. There's not a problem there. And so when you told me it was the Cobra Cam 88, I said, okay, I can buy that. Showing, we got a picture. I've got some other photos here, but wanted to put them on. We've got two versions. If you're looking on your radio, Joe, off to the right-hand side, there's the S meter. And then you're either going to have one that has a red light or one that has a red light and a switch below the red light. Over.
You're probably talking the red light and the switch. That would be this one.
Right, some type of range boost. And I have a feeling they did produce too many without it, because I think all the ones we check in typically have the switch. Always good audio. People that have them, like yourself, always say they like the receive. They got nicknamed the school bus. So there's big knobs, like wheels of the school bus going around and round. And you can't go wrong with a late 1960s Cobra. Over.
Didn't realize it was that old. Right now, the range boost is off. So we are broadcasting there with no range boost. I think it was on earlier when it was brought to me, but I think it was in off position. And I had put it on, and I think I took it off because I wasn't sure. I know I did change the head on the microphone. This is a preamplified D104. I did change the head on it. Harvey said the other one was kind of weak, so I did change the head on it. This one has the range boost right below the audio light, or the modulation light, I should say. And I don't know how many tubes are in this or anything. You can help me out.
I am hoping I can. Sometimes we have the info, and sometimes we don't. It looks like light switch. Looks like I don't have a tube complement right off my hand, but I do have some knowledgeable listeners coming in to save the day. The Cobra Cam 88, 1964. Tube type 23 channel AMCB base station, manufactured in the United States by B&K Precision, Dynascan Corporation, Cobra Electronics, operations out of Chicago, Illinois, 60609. It was called the Dynaboost, as you mentioned. And so, you're looking at a nice, good mid-1960s radio. They always have great fidelity, even with or without the range boost. Sometimes when the radio is working as well as yours is, I hesitate to ask people to flip switches and things because it could open a can of worms. So whatever you got is working.
You know what? I'll agree with you on that. I've done that before. And not only just on radios, on cars I've done that.
Yeah, I don't try to change it. If it doesn't need changing, I won't change it. But yeah, we've got right below the meter. Nice looking meter too. It's lit up really bright, and it looks nice. Really old fashioned. Right below the meter, you have your PA and your CV knob, and to the left of that, you got your squelch and your volume and your fine tune. I think I did mess with the fine tune when you were talking, so we should be pretty good there. And the channel selector, I like the little channel selector a lot better there than the old one that I have there, the number 2. But doggone it, a really nice radio. Gets hot, gets warm, so it might be due to the day too.
A lot of them ran hot because there's basically some tubes in there. The tubes can handle the heat. It's affiliated stuff like transformers and capacitors that if they're not in the right spot, when I get some cooling, they may or may not handle the heat as well. So no problem there. Just keep yourself, keep from burning yourself, I guess, by touching the wrong part of it. Let's see, what else? We got a lot of people with some good information here. 23 Skidoo, 10 tubes. Radio Museum list, 10 tubes, 6A EA8. There's 3 of those, 12BE6, 12BA6, a couple of those. 12AX7, there's your audio, 6BQ5, some more audio final stuff. 2 transistors, making it a hybrid typical of the area. So I think sometimes the 2 transistors would help it to do some type of a DC conversion, so you could run it in the mobile. So you got 10 tubes sitting there, and the list price in 1965 was $214.95. So kind of mid-priced in the radio world.
Yeah, I would imagine, doggone it. Yeah, 10 tubes. Yeah, well, that probably explains why it's producing a little bit of heat there. Okay, Dennis. Well, this is, like I say, the new member of the family here, and we'll be checking this one on periodically.
All right, nice and smooth audio. You don't have to change the thing. Oh, before you go, we'll do the frequency check. For those rock-bound, we talked about that earlier, the rock-bound stations, find out where your rock is positioned. And maybe in some future episodes, we'll get brave and jump in and see what the Dynaboost switch will do. So over to you for a quick transmission. We'll find out where the frequency, where the rock is over.
We'll give you a 1, 2, 3 count for that. And so I sure do appreciate you. Let me check this one in.
Wow, real close frequency. You're probably at 84,950. You're probably 50 cycles. Hello? We're probably 50 cycles on the low side. So right on. That crystal has stood the test of time. Over.
Sounds good. Looks like we're cooking on this one. That's a good deal. Sure appreciate it, and appreciate Harvey for the work he did on it. So this one here will back up a couple of radios on the shelf here. It's getting kind of tight in here. I've got 2 more that I'll be putting on the shelf here pretty quick, and doggone it, we're just going to need more tiers.
Yeah, just do like they do in the big cities downtown. You build up like Seattle. Just keep stacking them up. Although remember, the heat rises, so the hottest radio. Yeah, be careful of that. Put the hottest radio at the top, so it's not putting heat into everything else. But they'll probably be okay. A lot of good. Thank you for the stations, for the listeners giving us information on the radio. Dynaboost audio enhancement, Cobra signature AM punch, the PA functions, S-meter headphone jack modulation indicator, and 12-volt DC operations. You'll be able to put it out in the Buick. Thanks for bringing it by.
Oh, okay. Don't run it. This will go DC then, huh?
It will. It says it's the transistor strictly for the 12-volt power supply. Yeah, because it's a DC to DC conversion, so you just got to make sure you have the right cable. And it probably plugs in the back, and then it's probably going to have 2 wires coming out, and hopefully it's got a fuse on it, and it might even have a vibrator tube. I'm not sure, but for now, it's safe and sound on the desk.
Thank you for letting me check this a minute. 56.
And thanks for bringing it by. Boy, you know what we're getting now is the, in 56, you're sounding good. Thanks, Joe. We're getting the gray line from Hawaii coming in. The skip is coming back up. But, Phil, I hear you. Take a transmission, and we'll get you locked in. Over.
Thank you, Dennis. I'm on my Tram Titan 2.
All right, good. See, I just let the listeners know Phil knows how or what radios need to come out when we are in the midst of this kind of skip talk. And you got to bring out the Cobras, you got to bring out the Trams, the Siltronics. So it is the Titan 2 and no A, right?
That is correct.
All right, I'm going to go to the Rolodex and find the Titan 2. So that's the radio that looks more like what you would think an old tube radio might look like. It also, since it's the 2 model, I'm trying to remember if that's got the sideband in it or not. One of them had double sideband.
Correct. The Titan 2 has the double sideband. Over.
And there it is. It's got the rack handles, all the general radio telephone. This definitely looks like the the CB radio that goes into the workbench. This is before Tram figured out if you put wood on the case, you could bring it in the house, and the XYL would be okay with it. Lots of knobs. You don't just sit down and transmit on this thing. You got to figure it out, get the transmitter and receiver to match. And it has that beautiful large S meter on it. Over.
Yes, indeed it does. There's one puzzlement that I have with this radio. There is a mode selector, which would be LSB, USB, AM, and then X. And on the, for instance, the Tram TR27E, there's also a switch selector for X, and there's also a position on the front panel of the 27 Echo for an external receive crystal. However, on this radio, there is no place to put another crystal. Over.
Yeah, I see that. I'm scouring the front panel. I see your X, and this one also suffers the malady of, you've got the really nice variable tune VFO receive, which is okay for the FCC, and you've got your crystal controlled, transmit switch, which is down on the bottom with the world's smallest window to actually see if there's a number in there, to know what channel you're on. Over.
Say that again, Dennis. I was thinking of something else. The small window where?
It's the it would be your transmit knob selector. I imagine that clicks in, 11, 12, 13. But when you look at it compared to the receiver, the VFO, which is the nice wide screen giving you the dial readouts, then you go down to the other knob. It's almost as though how you could even tell what channel you might be on.
Oh yes, I'm with you now. Yeah, that's kind of like. They skimped a little bit on that, considering they went all out on the ginormous meter, and this one yeah.
Well, the upgrade from the Tram Titan, the TR27E, then they went over to the Tram Titan and the Titan 2. Any other features? I'm looking to see if there's a Tram Titan 2 instruction manual. PDF, operator's manual, oldtuberadio.com. So if you ever needed, or anybody ever needs to look at how to operate this thing, or what you can do to operate it, we've got a manual there, and maybe that would solve the mystery of the X, the missing X slot. Over.
Well, I had thought that it would, it turned into the X position. It would be then, instead of variable receive, it would receive through the crystal that you're transmitting on. However, unless maybe my radio's broken, but if I flip it to the X, you go away.
Yeah, because it's either not looking at where I am, or maybe not looking at anything. And I don't have the front panel real estate on the 27E to see if there was something they put in where it's like, we're going to have to move this crystal socket back inside. You got a couple of lights on the top or near the top, and I cannot read on my item here, but I'm assuming one of them might be a mod light that blinks, the other one might be a transmit, but they're both together.
Yes, the upper lamp is a mod indicator. It flickers as I speak, and the one below it is just a steady on when the radio is keyed.
All right, sounds good. This is the one that replaced the Tram TR-27E in 1968. So this is the time the Browning Golden Eagle is coming out, or is the Brownings are hanging out, and so Tram, always trying to keep up with the Brownings, also had their little secret weapon in the Collins mechanical filter that definitely added some extra numbers to the final price, but keeps your receiver in good stuff.
I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you find a manufacturer's suggested retail on that radio?
I was looking. I thought we had that, but I guess we don't have one for the 2 or 2A, but my guess would be it was probably in the $395 for 1968 to $400 range. That would be close to what the Browning Eagles were selling for.
Okay, well, let me see. I'm going to test my frequency count. 085, 086.
Okay, I just tuned into your lower sideband, and it's saying 270848. So about 200 cycles on the low side, which is perfectly acceptable to any FCC field operator.
Well, very good, Dennis. As the hour grows nigh, we are at that hour. I'm going to turn it back to you, Dennis, and hopefully maybe there'll be a couple more that want to sneak in under the wire. Over.
All right, good deal. Some of these had the really loud relay clunk when you key down, and you might come back and mention that, although I don't hear it. I mean, I hear a noise, but I think that's just the microphone. And thank you, 23 Skidoo. I was a little bit underpriced here, $495, and I would not doubt that with the Collins mechanical filter and this being the top of the line and their radio to match what Browning was doing. So yeah, $500 back in 1968. So you buy the used 63 Pontiac Star Chief, or you buy one of these brand new. And thank you, Phil, for another fine radio, the Tram Titan 2. And also, we mentioned sideband. This is 66, 67. Here comes Regency with their double sideband AM. The Japanese imports are going to start coming in with some sideband. And so Tram comes in with their double sideband. And then, of course, you get the Browning Golden Eagle Mark II with the single sideband adapter. So all about that 1967, 68. Things are changing. The Old Tube Radio Network jingle singers are right here, and then we may have another radio from Joe. But if you have a chance, Get out of your chairs and cha-cha with the Jingle Singers.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
Magic for you. Yeah, where's all this? Leo Myerson, Art Collins, Gar Green. I really think they would get a kick out of jumping into the Old Tube Radio Network here and hearing all the radios saying, boy, they sound good after 50 or 60 years. The Old Tube Radio Network listening.
47.
All right, I've got 47. Stand by. You will be next. Was there another station as well?
Good day, Bucket. Hot shot. Bye-bye-bye.
I think we're competing with the, what was that, the thing last, the ether. We're competing with stations floating on the ether. So 47 will go directly to you. We will not pass go. We will not collect $200, but we'll find out what it is that's in front of your microphonium. Over.
Yeah, ether. Should I be breathing that to appreciate what other folks are doing right now?
Well, there's the ether, that breathe, but this is the ether as in the airwaves, as in wafting your radio frequency, your RF through the ether. Over.
Okay, I'm going to have to do some research on that. Well, I'm not breathing ether right now, but what I am breathing is delightful hot air from that's convection cooling my tube radio. It's the Robin T123, which I just checked it. I've got my IR thermometer here, and just right on the top of the radio, right behind the speaker, again on the top. I'm not kidding, man. It's hovering around 160 degrees. That's 160 Fahrenheit. You don't want to put your hand on there. You might be able to put some Easy Bake Oven pancakes on there, but not your hand.
Yeah, the Easy Bake Oven. What do they use? A 100-watt light bulb, I think. They had a special light bulb in between all those metal reflective panels, and then they had really sharp pieces of metal that you would cut your hand on. So this one you could burn your hand. I don't know, 160. What is that in centigrade? Probably good to go. Just get the heavy-duty aluminum foil and put the steak and the potatoes and the carrots, and by the end of the net, you will have a nice little meal. I don't have to jump into the barbecue. But you really have. You've got this dialed up. I have never heard you so loud on the Robin. You've got everything set up nice.
I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you. Absolutely 100% of that is not due to me. Harvey deserves most of that credit. I haven't even checked the 9-volt battery in the microphone I'm using. I'm trying to think of a way to be not so self-deprecating. Well, I put the antenna up, but that has nothing to do with it. I think it's all the radio, to be honest with you. This was the first vacuum tube radio in my collection. As I've unfortunately mentioned numerous times, it was the Magic Eye tube that really drew me to this radio. The 6RE13, I believe it is. It's delightful. It still works. And I'm unbelievably ashamed that I have not taken this on the road this year. I haven't taken it on the road, unfortunately, forever. I really want to, and I don't know, maybe next weekend it'll be something. But it's always a fun radio to use. Everyone sounds great on it, and with the fan going on in the radio lounge right now, trying to keep this thing cool down, it just makes the whole room smell like vacuum tubes, which is, you can't get much better than that in life.
Well, I was going to ask you if you put a new battery, and you said you haven't even looked at it, so occasionally look at it, make sure it doesn't start corroding, but it's not failing, and hopefully we haven't jinxed the radio. Robin T123, this is the one that I guess they built up to 1972, I think, when they started using the other Panasonic chassis. 11 tubes. So we got another tube in this radio for some reason. I'm not sure. That was for the big radios. The 11 and 12 tube radios were all the rage, and then you had an extra tube, I think, for a product detector if you had sideband, which you don't. It's got the obligatory 2 transistors for your DC to DC conversion, because it does do a 12-volt DC, and I think you've had it, like you said, mobiling before, and then it's got the different Magic iTube. I picked up a broadcast console-style radio that's got the other style Magic iTube, and I was turning it on. I thought, oh, it doesn't work, and I realized I was listening to it, and I didn't have any antenna hooked up, and the thing was picking up some broadcast stations, but it wasn't. It was telling me true. It wasn't strong enough. The stations, even though I could hear them, weren't coming in strong enough to make the tube, the illuminations deflect. So I hooked a clip lead, and all of a sudden that little Magic iTube just pegged. The sides came together. So they tell you too, with the amount of whatever it is, voltage or whatever they're measuring, you get to your 100% modulation, you get to that certain amount of dBm coming in, they'll perform for you. All right, I wax poetic on something I know nothing about. Over to you for transmission.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I do that all the time. Yeah, the last thing I'll say about this is, I think there's a life story in here. I think I remember reading a long time ago that one of the reasons why they put this Magic iTube in here was because it was so cheap. And I could be wrong on that, but I think I did read it somewhere. Again, it was the use of cheap technology. And, it's just sad. You can't even get a new car these days with, like, old analog needle gauges. It's all like a small computer screen that's basically worthless. But it's funny how, everything comes full circle. And, again, these Magic iTubes are just priceless, folks that are into these radios, at least the ones I chat with, are just raving about the Magic iTube. So it's funny. What was cheap, you gained some popularity later on down the road. But anyways, thanks for letting me check it in. The Magic iTubes are working great. Everyone sounds absolutely wonderful, even the folks in Hawaii or wherever that's coming from. And what a great way to spend a Saturday evening. And I on a personal note, I have to say thanks for that email the other day. The attachment was much appreciated. So on that 73 from the Radio Lounge, SWO 47.
Sounding good. Glad you got the email, and you again chose another radio perfect for tonight. Out of all the Robins you have, this is the one for when the skip is running hot and having nice and loud audio, punchy, coming through with no problem. And the skip is still running here, and it's is it past 10 o'clock already? So we're doing okay. The radio, the Robin T123. It's a more common variant, the T123 Bravo after that. But like you, I've got a special place for this one because of the Magic iTube and sort of the simplicity that it works. And if you want to set your coffee cup on top or your hot chocolate, just remember not to spill it. All right, who is the other station? Go ahead.
I'll give you a couple guesses. Okay. Please check this one in. The Golden Beagle R68T68. And I think I'm working next week. I'm not sure. Out of town, but hopefully I'll get back in time.
All right, the Beagle. The Beagle threw me off. It almost sounded like it was a tone call. Keep that up again. It didn't come through.
Is that better?
All right. That's better. It must have been if someone was standing in the way. Yeah, it has a little different. At least from what I remember, it has a little bit of different tone to it tonight.
Well, it's in the mood. Okay, we'll catch you next week. Did Joe check in?
Oh yeah, he's got a radio on the list. Over.
Well, there we go. Okay, I was just checking. Alrighty, I'll let you go.
All right, you're sounding good. Take it easy in the heat, and yeah, if you need a proxy checking or something, just let me know. But a lot of times you manage to get back just in the nick of time.
Well, I try. I should be able to this time also, but we'll see. Okay, I'll let you go. I just finished working on a radio. I don't know if it's ready or not, but we'll see. Okay, we'll catch you next week, hopefully.
Sure deal. All right, I'll get out of here. We'll say hello to the stations listening in. It's 10:30. Dwayne's listening in. Needs a late check-in, so we were hoping we would get some conditions up that way tonight, but it all seemed like it was across the ocean to the mini grass, but that's okay. It's late wherever you are. It's late where we are, and it's hot as well, so... thank you, Harvey, for radio number 5, the Browning Golden Beagle.
Roger, my beagle with the big ears. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you do your thing, and maybe I'll see if this radio I worked on actually works.
There's always that possibility that it might work, huh? 10 and 30. Let me get the official X or in the square up at the top for Dwayne and Chrissy. We heard it was 5:30 this afternoon. The Pacific Northwest came in for 5 minutes, and so far tonight it's been in it's calming down right now. I'll go over to the. I think I can find it. Let me go over to the list, and you can see it's. All the stuff we had on the West Coast side is gone. Still got a little bit of Hawaii, so you just never know. All right, thank you, Harvey. And before we jump out, it's late, but I've got one more space there if anybody wants to check in the radio. I heard somebody over.
14.
Oh, 14. All right, you know why? Because I have that stupid relay that's cutting my receive off. 14, you sound good. And you will be radio number 6. Go ahead, sir. Over.
Well, finally, conditions are permitting it. Hopefully you got a good copy on me. I'm on a Colt Midnight Special, the 40-channel Citizens Band transceiver vacuum tube, and I can tell you it runs very hot. I shot it with my fluke meter. I'm at 140 degrees on the case after 3 hours of runtime here.
Wow. All right. Well, you know what that is? The Midnight Special is the updated Panasonic version of the Robin and the Robin T123B. So I know I'm pretty sure I've got a shot of the Midnight Special, and this was the 1970 or after 1976 versions. Let me bring it up here. There it is. Got the switch, got the 40 channels. So, yeah, like the Robin T-Berry Model T et al. Over.
The exact same thing, and I am on a amplified D104 mic, and it has the red on-the-air modulation light blinking away. It has no kind of noise blinker or any kind of thing like that, so it's difficult. It's not one of my favorites to listen to, but I'm very curious to see how it sounds over the air. If I had time, I wanted to compare it to the Robin, but maybe we can do that next week.
Not a problem. It actually, the band is, like you said, it's quieted down enough so that you're the only show going on right now. I will swap the video over so you can see the S meter as well, because again, you've got the audio, and so a lot of people can say that's got to be good S9, but I bet it's not, because you're far away. So take a transmission.
Well, good thing it's got good clear audio. Like I said, I'm on my favorite static desk mic here, amplified, and very nice radio that I got from Phil. Cleaned up amazing. Very happy with it. Good looking radio, and that's about all I got for it tonight.
Well, that is good enough. Let me go back to the big picture here, Midnight Special, and I had a question. Oh, I thought it was a switch. It says on the air and modulation. So there you go. And it has what is that, a clipper? This one's missing a knob. It's missing the volume knob. That is, clarifier. I was going to say a clipper would be a whole different thing. That's the clarifier. Never mind.
Yeah, I've got a clarifier, and it just dimly glows when you key down, and it blinks right at you when you're talking to let you know you're modulating. And I get a little bit of a meter wiggle there as well.
Well, you should. I think those chassis were actually plate modulated, which is why they always stand up so well. If you drive them with a lot of audio, you don't get the distortion. And from 23 Skidoo, the Colt is one of the 6 40-channel Panasonics, 9 tubes. Wait a minute, did they take a tube out? Because I think before, wow, for 160 and 978, that's crazy. And because I believe the Robins were 11 tubes, so I'm just curious if when they went to 40 channels, they were able to get rid of a tube or two. Interesting. So maybe you won't use that for heating your coffee up.
Yeah, one thing about it does not have a channel selector. It has a megahertz selector. So I thought that was kind of interesting too.
Okay, so these are the, I just learned something. The 40-channel versions were 9 tubes, so they're able to probably solid state a couple of things and get rid of the tubes. But it still qualifies on the old tube radio network. One more transmission, and we'll give you, I'll see where you're at on the frequency here.
I'm glad I was able to get in this evening with all the traffic right here at the tail end of the program, and hopefully I'm on frequency, and everybody out there have a good evening. Thanks for the time for the Colt 40-channel Midnight Special.
Nice. We got the channel all to ourselves now. I think the skip just went away. Nice. You are 50 hertz low. You're right on frequency. So I have a feeling that's probably got, and I could be wrong, it may not have crystals in it. It may be some type of other thing that would make you more on frequency than not. Anyway, 7-3, glad that we got conditions. I got you and 9 checked in on the SWL side during all the noise, so thanks.
Yeah, sounds really good over here.
225, Northern Utah, 225, Northern Utah, Forfield.
All right, here comes our north-south skip now.
This is the one I was working on. Is it okay?
It is good. Let me get to the S meter and find out what you're doing. Go ahead, over.
Well, I do have the modulator on because I wanted to make sure Sean could hear me. 123B Robin with all its normal Robin problems. And I think it's working now. Range boost is off.
The audio is really clear. And whatever microphone you've got, it's nice, clear, not overdone. I don't hear background noise. There's not too much bass, not too much treble. Sounds really good.
Okay. I turned the range boost on. Amplified D104, turned up a little below half, and it's way at arm's length.
Still sounds good. I almost like it better with it off, with the microphone closer. It's just, it gets a little less room noise. But either way, sounds good. No distortion.
All righty. Okay. All I got to do is actually check the tubes. One thing I haven't done. But I'll just give them a quick check, and then this will be done. Okay, thank you, Dennis.
Okay, 8 to 9 plus on the S meter, and if you want to try it without the range boost, although I don't hear, sometimes the range boost will introduce or amplify a hum or something. I hear no bad stuff being amplified at all.
Okay. How's my frequency? Looking at the freak counter. I should be, let me think, just a hair high maybe, or right on, something like that.
All right, I'm showing, I get the 0 beat, and if you watch the replay, you're hearing go, ew, and I have to turn down to 270848. About 200 cycles low is what I get on the 0 beat.
Oh, let me see. I have to stand up and move a wire over here for my external freak counter when I have the modulator on. No, that's not right. 0848. Yeah, that's what it shows.
And that's what I show when I do the 0 beat over.
All right, we're both beating our zeros correctly. All right, catch you next week.
And again, really good audio, nice and clipped. And that is a 123 Bravo?
123B, with my D104 turned up a little less than half. I have to check the tubes. Hopefully, there's a weak one in the transmit, because it only wants to do about 2 to 5. It should do more, but it's got its Robin problems. All the tuning lugs are stuck. I was able to free up 2 of them, or 3 of them, but 4 of them, that's it. But I dare not do any more. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you.
Back to me in the studio. Okay, that's good. Hopefully you don't need to do, or you shouldn't, or won't need to do too much more stuff into it. Anyway, I'm glad we stayed on a little late tonight. We picked up Dwayne and Chrissy, and also Art, Alpha Delta Charlie in New Jersey. Thanks for joining us. It's late out there. We're staying on late tonight. The Jingle Singers are letting us know that we are late.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
Be as modern as you can on your Swan 1011 plane. We're counting and amounting.
Yes.
This is the basic Dennis, over.
How are you going to handle the no more changing the clocks?
Oh, well, is that actually going to happen? So we'll see how it would affect this one just from the skip. Remember, they have more skip or less skip because of that hour. And then on the Nixie tubes, I'm going to have to talk to Frodex, because that was always a problem, because the Nixie tubes are set to UTC, so they would swap 8 hours early. So I'll have to see if it's not changing. Once we get set, maybe we'll be good on the Nixie tubes now.
Hey, Roger. I have this one clock that I use to wake up in the morning, and it was back in the 90s or whatever, and it goes back and forth based on the old dates. And I have to be aware of that. Otherwise, I have problems with that clock. But I'm going to keep it, until it stops working. But it goes by the old time changes dates. So it'll be interesting.
Well, we'll see how it works. And then there's the atomic clock. They just sit there and you see them. They're adding an hour or subtracting an hour. So I don't know. It's anytime something has to, somebody even mentioned that, anytime something has to boot up, you're already in trouble. So sometimes the good old standard stuff on your car or on your radio, don't mess with it. Okay, here comes, I think, the fanfare. It is late. We got to get out of here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
It's yesterday somewhere. This is the current and final totals. See, here at the Old Tube Radio, it's yesterday. Everywhere else, except maybe here in the Central Valley, it's tomorrow. And people are wondering why we don't catch up, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, nothing sort of blew up tonight. I hope everybody can hear me. The skip was interesting. We had Utah just like 5 minutes ago, so we've got to check your charts. We might have some openings. If anybody's staying up late here in the Central Valley, listening, maybe we'll talk to 409 or 709 or Dwayne and Chrissy are out listening on the radio. We got Texas. We've got Tennessee. Foxman is ready to go. Foxman is usually ready to go 24 hours. He's got a rotating red light on the top of the Robin, like the emergency radio. When it starts flashing, he's going to be out looking for Skip. Radios tonight, we had 7. And I just noticed we had 2 Robins tonight, but here we go. Swan 1011. You heard it here and probably only here. And the FCC did call. The ARRL isn't revoking our membership into QST for putting that on the air. So that's a good thing. The controversial Swan 1011. Thank you, Phil. The Cobra Cam 88. Joe, I hope that one makes it in the mix with all the rest, and we'll play with some buttons the next time around. But it's a very has a very good sound to it. Don't need to touch a thing. The Tram Titan 2, Workhorse Powerhouse Radio, introduction of Class D sideband, figuring out how to do it. Let's just drop the carrier out, and you can keep upper and lower, and you decide what you want to listen to. Always a nice radio at $500, top of the line. The Robin T123 sounding super nice and super loud tonight. Mike, as always, gotta love the Magic Eye tube. Why didn't they put it in the other ones? I don't know. It's like just another tube. They got those fuddy-duddies bean counters. It's like, we get rid of that thing, we can get another tube out of the radio and save some money. Who's next? Radio number 5, the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68. I'm sorry, the Bagel. It's one of those. One of those B words. The Colt Midnight Special, 40 channels, no waiting. Sean, really nice audio. Hope you can watch or listen to the replay. You had it all to yourself. Skipland was gone, and the Robin T123B also sounding really good. So a great showing tonight. When the skip is in and it gets noisy, you bring out the big guns with the plate modulation and the nice audio, and you'll get through every time. 73, everybody. Thanks for staying up extra late. If you're watching the replay, the Old Tube Radio Network, since the mid-1980s on a Saturday, doing just what you saw here, recreating the sound. For those people who say, that's a CB radio, doggone it, it's just kind of noisy and nobody talks to anybody. This is what it sounded like with these very radios when they were brand new. So do the same thing where you are. If you're working on upgrade or studying, maybe you want to go from tech to general, keep that up. A lot of us are hams, so we'd be happy to jump on a frequency somewhere and talk to you when the skip is running. And there isn't 40 people on the same frequency trying to talk. So we'll try it that way. Anyway, 72 plus 1, thanks, and we will catch you next time on your Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Good night. Good night.
it's so quiet.
Good show, Dennis.
All right, and I'm going to work on my other device and see if I can fix that. Otherwise, I'm probably have to ship it away.
Again?
I know they're kind of persnickety, and it's doing a weird thing. So maybe it's like, well, open the top, and there's a cable, or it's a 21st century thing. Turn it off, and then turn it back on, and flip this wire, and see what happens.
See what repair tool they left inside.
Maybe nothing. We'll see. All right. Good night. And it is warm. I think I've got something better in my wardrobe to put on for the. It's probably down to 85 now, right? Man, don't I wish I had an IT department. Well, actually, I do. It's Frodex out in Kansas. He's the one that sort of figured out how to reconnoiter all this stuff with the help of the help of AI. So maybe that's why. That's why we're riding on the thin edge. Listen, there's full RF gain. Next. Nothing going on. Crazy conditions. Yeah, well, that's the first thing they say. Have you done this? Have you tried this? That noise blocker, there's nothing.